Every product design is a series of trade-offs. It's like a slider where you can push it either towards form or towards function. And it can be exciting when you push it way towards form. This is the iPhone Air. So Apple decided to make a ridiculously thin iPhone. Yes, it's thinner than a number 2 pencil, thinner than any previous iPhone that's ever been made, including the one that bent. It's thinner than the freaking iPod Touch. That is ridiculous. And this isn't simply an iPhone shrunken down. Apple has done a ton of rearranging parts and pieces inside the phone. They've squeezed a lot of the compute and memory and logic board up into the top of the phone and allowed a bit of a bulge, which they're calling a plateau, which leaves most of the slimmer bottom of the phone for just battery. The edges are nice and softly rounded, and the whole outside frame is shiny titanium, which picks up, but it's not perfect. Of course it's not perfect. You wouldn't be watching this review if it was that easy. There are a bunch of trade-offs to making it this thin. It doesn't just get this thin magically without a bunch of sacrifices. Beauty is pain, after all. And so now that I've been using this phone for a couple of weeks, I'm just going to give you each of the trade-offs that Apple made and how much you'll actually notice them. And I have some small concerns, some medium concerns, and then the big concerns. So, and the battery. And some of this is actually kind of shocking. It turns out the iPhone Air is not just a survivor of the famous jerry-rig everything bend test. It's literally one of the most impressively durable smartphones of all time. I'm not exaggerating. It's kind of ridiculous. I think in most people's concerns when seeing a piece of hardware this thin, naturally they're thinking, oh, am I going to break this? Am I going to snap it in half? And the answer, it turns out pretty definitively, is no. This is not any less durable than a normal smartphone. The titanium frame can withstand more bending than any human can put their mortal hands through, and it'll snap back to flat even if you do get it to flex. And you can almost undoubtedly sit on the phone for an extended period of time like an insane person, and it will survive. It's still IP68 water and dust resistant. Dunk it underwater if you want to. And the ceramic shield 2 on the front and back is actually even more scratch resistant than previous versions. I know they say that a lot. Oh, this one's the most scratch resistant yet. But it's to the point where it didn't even show the normal scratches at level 6 with deeper grooves at level 7 on Zach's famous test. It passed even beyond normal smartphones. Now, of course, glass is glass and glass still breaks. That is, you could still drop this phone and shatter the front or back glass, of course. But, you know, I think we all went into this thinking that the durability would be a major weakness of this phone. And it turns out it's one of the biggest strengths, which is crazy. Turns out those engineers and material science people over there are actually pretty good at what they're doing. Or maybe they had some incentive, the upcoming foldable iPhone that we all expect as early as next year. Because it's easy to be impressed by the thinness of the iPhone Air, but if you've paid attention to the rest of the smartphone world lately, each half of a good folding phone is often even thinner than this iPhone. It's obviously a huge priority for them because they're trying to get to the same thickness as a normal phone when closed, so double their typical Z-axis. So all of this work, all of this incredible reorganization of the inside of the phone and the components and the miniaturization of parts and the efficiency maxing with their in-house developed parts like N1 chip and C1X, all of that effort is absolutely geared towards seeing if they can make the first ever truly new form factor of an iPhone, maybe since the 10, one that folds in half. And it just so happens to enable this really thin form factor Air phone that they'll make in the meantime. Kind of the exact same way we got a Galaxy S25 Edge, and then a few months later, got the Z Fold 7, which was an ultra-thin foldable from Samsung. So I'm very much looking forward to that crazy foldable